You're listening to Passages. I'm Drew. I got Tim and Jason with me tonight. We're excited to be able to bring another episode to you. That's what we do.
It's been a good evening. Had a good worship service, good Bible study tonight with John McMath, the man who made me feel quite emasculated by his voice.
Got that deep, rich voice.
I'm telling you, we would be number one on the podcast charts right now if just one of us had that voice. Instead, we sound like three gentlemen Kermit the Frogs in here.
I love getting up after he preaches. And I feel like I'm going, hey, everybody. I want to thank John for being here.
I may or may not have sent Jason a text that said, check out that dude's voice and the density of the hair on his head.
It's amazing.
Puts us to shame.
I would love to hear him and Bob Graham in an argument. Or a heated discussion, because with their two voices,
we don't want those guys arguing.
Well, not maybe just a heated discussion. Their voices.
What does the Lord hate? One who sows discord among brothers.
Okay, so not an argument, Drew. Not an argument. But you get what I'm saying. Those two guys, like I want to get one of them or both of them to read our end of the podcast or like an intro into it. You're listening to Passages. I can't even get my voice that low if I want to.
We ought to have some guests like, this is John McMath. We could have done it in like 2 seconds. Could have run down to the studio and had him do
This
it.
is John McMath.
You're listening to Passages.
Okay, we're going to do that with a few guys before our spring series is over.
We definitely need to.
Oh, I'm thinking of one. We'll save it for when it actually happens.
All right.
So, guys, have y'all been paying attention to the news this week? So there's no eclipse. There's nothing crazy going on in the environment that I know of. I haven't really paid attention. We've got a little turmoil going on in the Middle East. But I want to bring you a story from the southern hemisphere, from Brazil.
All right.
All right. I'm not going to read the title of this. I'm just going to start there. And I'm getting this article from a very good source, TMZ.
All right.
Yes. The good people at TMZ.
A Brazilian woman tried to pull a weekend at Bernie's with her dead uncle, wheeling his body into her local bank and trying to take out a loan in his name, which got her busted. Erica de Souza Vieira Nunez.
Nice work.
You like that? Got caught on camera earlier this week in Rio de Janeiro, where she appeared to have a corpse with her as she attempted to secure some financing, the equivalent of about $3,400 per reports. The video is super eerie as she tries to force him to sign paperwork with his limp hand. She's seen talking to her dead uncle at various points, asking him if he can hear her and if he's listening, instructing him to sign even though he's clearly not talking back. The woman also attempts to hold his head straight as it constantly tilts and falls back. Employees at the bank weren't convinced, ultimately ringing the police, who arrested Erica. Authorities confirmed the victim's name was Paulo Roberto Braga, and he was dead for hours before being wheeled into the bank on Tuesday. Erica may be charged with theft, though the fraud embezzlement as well with theft through fraud, embezzlement, as well as abuse of a corpse. Cops are trying to determine how this man died and if other family members were involved. Who knew Larry and Rich's scheme is still going strong some 35 years later?
All I'm saying is, why don't we just pretend he didn't die?
That's exactly what she was doing.
Yep.
Now, you have got to be in a pretty bad bind for money to come up with the idea of getting your uncle, who is deceased, to co-sign a loan with you.
You got to have a lot of other psychological things going on at the same time.
Just the fact that it said, and I read multiple articles on this. I didn't watch the video. I thought the video might be a little creepy, plus they had it blurred out, which I think is appropriate because the guy is deceased. But they said multiple times his head would flop back and she would push it back forward. And at one point, it says that she had his hand saying, here, you need to sign here, like she was trying to get him to sign the paperwork.
Oh, yeah.
No, like this, Uncle.
There is no depth that people will go to for the almighty dollar or whatever the Brazilian currency is.
I think I could stop ahead of messing with a corpse.
What if she
that's
signed
my
it?
line.
What if
is
she
right
signed
above
it?
that.
She signed it, Uncle Pedro.
So
Put your name here. His name's Uncle Pedro.
So it comes up with a couple of questions. Number one, she doesn't live next door to the bank. How does she get
That's what
the
I was.
dead body?
We're
to the
looking
bank?
at public transportation.
Was there a wheelchair involved?
There's a wheelchair involved. So does
Okay.
she push him down the sidewalk? Did they get on a bus and all these people are riding with a corpse?
It's possible.
And then how does she even get up to the line? At some point, does someone in that building not go, he's not breathing? And
Yeah, there's
and draw
people
attention
talking
to
all
it.
around. Yeah, people noticed before she noticed that they noticed. They were onto her.
I cannot.
Because
The gall of some
how
people.
much disguise did she have on him? Like, did she have him have some makeup on him,
Sunglasses.
sunglasses, a hat?
Had to been doing the sunglasses.
I wish that the pictures, in some ways, I wish that the pictures were not as blurred, because this is her. I'm showing them the pictures for those of you that can't see, because we're not on any type of video service.
Looks like a perfectly normal young woman.
Ish.
What if she had put a pair of sunglasses on him and painted eyes on the outside of the sunglasses? That would have been awesome.
It's just. Oh, here we go. At one point in the images, which bank workers began filming after smelling a rat, one suspicious employee comments
not a
on
rat.
the pallid complexion. That's just what he's like, Vieira replies before trying to place a pin in his limp hand again.
That, my friends, the smell of death.
Did she get the scotch tape out and form a smile? Where he had this permagrin,
Pulled it back behind his ears and
got that Porky Pig nose going.
I just, we've all seen the late 80s classic Weekend at Bernie's at some point.
I've never seen it,
It's awful. I don't know that it's not awful. It's bad.
but I know the premise.
The premise.
It's now pop culture.
But to think that somebody would actually try to pull that off in a bank of all places. I mean, maybe at a resort, at a beach town, in a mansion, but at a bank.
I don't think I could do it.
Security cameras everywhere.
I really need to call somebody to come get our uncle.
It was $3,400, right?
Yeah.
It's not like $3.4 million.
It's like 17,000 of whatever the Brazilian money is. I'm not really sure. But anyway, that story, as I was just
So you're a medically minded guy. At what point does rigor mortis set in?
obviously
So
not
she's-
up to this
she's
point.
got
They
a
said 2
window
to 3
here.
hours. Yeah. So I don't know.
She's not going to be able to form Uncle's hand around that pin at a certain point.
Or if she's got it formed and he goes into rigor, he's not letting
He's
go
not
of
dropping
it.
that pin.
Yeah. Which
He's
we
gonna be
all
like
know
Bob
we're taking.
Dole.
We all know we're taking the bank pin anyway. So
Remember Bob Dole?
always with the pen.
Yeah. But I don't know that story. I picked it up off of. I want to say I saw it on one of the big national news sites today, and I saw it on Not the Bee. Have you ever read Not the Bee? It is the
Heard
true
of that.
version of the Babylon Bee,
Right.
and it has got some really, really funny stories on it. And this one just made me laugh. I could not believe somebody would try to do that.
That's crazy.
I like it. All right. Am I up?
I
You're
think
up,
it's your
Tim. What
segment.
you got?
All right. I got a Yay Sports segment.
Oh,
Oh no!
wrong one. All right, there it is. There it is. Hey.
Yay Sports.
Get that in
Sports.
post-production.
All right. So we're about 3 months away from the Summer Olympics. So in Paris this year, 2024 Paris Olympics. And so this article comes from Rolling Stone magazine and is entitled Olympic Breakdancer is Ready to Take Gold. So in the upcoming Olympics, this guy, the article is about a guy named Victor Montalvo, who apparently is a renowned breaker, as they like to call him, is going to be participating in the Paris Olympics to win a medal in breakdancing. And so I
Wasn't
decided,
aware there was a
yeah,
breakdancing sport.
that's a new one. And so I decided that for this segment of Yay Sports, I would go take a look at what are the sports where they're awarding medals in the Paris Olympics.
As you read these, can we determine if they're a sport or an activity?
Okay. Yeah, I think that's good.
Clean this list up a little bit.
Right. So,
Somebody write it down so we can send it to the board.
yeah. So maybe we just
The council, whatever they call it.
We'll flag the ones we think are sort of questionable, right?
And they're
Yes, for sure.
come out with another new name for Russia so they can participate. They can look at our list. They got time for it.
Is scratching sores from bed bugs on the list anywhere? Because, you know, this is our second Paris
Oh,
update.
yeah, that's right. We've
Keeping
got-
the people up to date on the Olympics.
yeah.
That's right.
Still got a bed bug problem over there.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Archery.
I'd
Yes.
give that a sport.
Yeah.
That should be there.
Jonathan's in archery. We're having a archery banquet here tomorrow night.
Wasn't going to cross you on the archery.
I appreciate that.
We'd have
Given that my
bloodshed
son,
on the
given that my
Passage
son
podcast.
I mean, think
participates
back,
in that.
Think
but,
back to the ancient times. I mean, in the movie, the cartoon version of Robin Hood, they're even having an archery tournament.
authentic
then. Yeah,
Robin
I mean,
Hood.
that's it. Yeah.
So it involves, it's like shooting sports, things like that, right?
I put it up
Right?
there as a
Yeah.
sport. Yeah, no
All right.
problem.
Artistic gymnastics. I believe that's the gymnastics with like the ribbons and the hoops and.
we're not talking Mary Lou.
We're not
We're not
talking
doing
like
mad
like
exercises.
the
Well,
gymnastics.
maybe it is. So, there's something called rhythmic gymnastics. That's the hoop and the ribbon. I'm not sure what artistic gymnastics is.
When they flop around on the mat.
Well,
What's that?
Maybe artistic gymnastics is regular
Well,
gymnastics.
that gets in.
yeah.
Yeah, I will say
Got
this: when Sam was doing jump rope, we went to Bama to see a gymnastics meet. That's the best athletes on the campus. They're amazing at what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's dancing with a ribbon, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Ribbons out.
regular gymnastics, good.
Artistic swimming.
Is that the Corey
Synchronized
swimming?
It must be. I don't see synchronized swimming on here, so I think it must
Okay,
be.
here's my question.
Yeah.
Can they touch the bottom?
I don't think they can.
I think
in
it's a
synchronized
12-foot
swimming.
pool. Then it's
I'm
a
letting
sport.
them in.
Yeah.
If you're not touching the bottom
If
and
they're
you're doing
having
all
to
that,
tread water,
that's
You're
a sport.
treading for the whole time. Yeah,
You can be in the
I'll give you
Olympics.
As
that.
long as your mascara doesn't run, we're good.
Yeah. There is I don't know what this means. It says athletics.
I think
Okay.
it depends on what is defined as athletics.
It says that contested at the very first ancient Olympic Games, athletics is one of the oldest sports on record, with the names of champions documented as far back as 776 BC. The ancient Olympics included events like the pentathlon, and I don't know. So is this track and field? Maybe it is.
Okay. So
If it's
all
track
the-
and field,
all
They're
it's
in.
messing me up here because why didn't they just say track and field? I think it's what
Or
it is.
decathlon or
Yeah. All right, here we go. Continuing
Yeah,
on.
I would put that. I'm looking at another list of it.
All right.
That's in.
Badminton.
Oh,
Now, I've talked to Calvert Bibb, and Calvert says that competitive badminton, not what you get out of the box from Walmart and play on the 4th of July.
just the phrase
serious
competitive
business.
badminton makes
Yeah.
me laugh.
I know.
It's hard to respect that.
if it's
but
something
apparently chasing that birdie is serious business for some
That
people.
is called a birdie.
It's called a birdie.
It's not the people. It's not the racket. It's the birdie
Yeah,
that makes
birdie.
it comical.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Basketball.
that's a
Oh
sport.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I
Got a
think-
good team together.
I believe this is a new one. Basketball 3x3. They're playing 3-on-3 basketball for an Olympic medal.
I think that'll be
Is
interesting.
that separate from? So they have real basketball,
gonna
and then
be
they
the-
also have a three.
There's going to be the
3x3.
regular one with all the NBA
I don't think
stars.
that's new. I think they've done that before.
Okay. So I want to say the guy's name. He played at BYU, and his name is Jimmer Fredette, I think.
At BYU, it'd be like Jedediah
It could have been, right? Maybe it's,
Jeremiah.
but I think so. And he played he played for a minute in the NBA, and then he played overseas, and he was a dead eye from distance. I think he's playing on the U.S.'s 3x3 team.
I'm okay with that being a sport.
All right. Beach volleyball. Hey, I don't know about y'all, but I think walking in sand should be an Olympic sport
Right.
because
I'll
it
give it a
wears
sport.
me out.
Yeah. Volleyball's a game. Volleyball's a sport. Sure.
Yeah, it's a sport.
And that in sand is difficult. Boxing,
Sport.
Yes.
breaking.
No.
Is that
No.
break dancing?
Yes.
Yeah, not a
Dancing.
sport. Yeah.
Yep.
Doing the centipede.
Canoe slalom.
I think the water sports, that,
Okay.
I'll give it to
I
them.
give some variety. Get outside.
Canoe sprint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
It's
I
a
think
race.
those are
Let
the
me
guys
tell you-
going like straight down the river, right?
I
The
went down.
slalom,
the
is that
slalom-
like the tricks?
That's like the guys on the Akoi or whatever, I think.
Well, I will tell you, after going on what I would like to call the greatest canoe trip this church has ever experienced, canoeing is harder than it looks. It takes some talent, and I'm not talented.
I'm going to take you boys down there in that whirlpool. We don't ever take anybody down there, but we're going to take you all today.
You know, if anyone ever says, let's go canoe 25 miles,
Oh,
maybe
went
you don't want to
that canoe trip.
Canoe trip.
I was thinking back to the days of the Akoi.
No,
but
that was a rafting trip.
That was a rafting trip. You're talking
Blackwater River.
and
Florida,
in
Milk,
the
Florida.
middle of a flood,
Yeah,
right?
That was the night that I got to see one young man spend all night sitting on a cooler in a downpour.
Don't you think they would call what happened that night a historic flood?
I would call it a deluge.
Yeah. All right. Back to Olympic sports. Cycling, BMX freestyle.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can break your leg at that, I'm sure. So, cycling, BMX racing,
Yeah. All races.
cycling mountain bike,
Yeah. I agree.
cycling road,
Yeah.
cycling track.
It's a little much. It's a little
Hey, have
much
y'all
for the
seen
cycles.
the track cycling
Oh,
though?
yeah.
Now, that is the sport.
That is something.
Those guys
that.
are crazy.
where they'll like stop, because there's some kind of rule around like one of the people has to start first or something, and
It's a
and so they'll
weird
be
thing.
sitting there because it's like this slanted,
Yeah.
it's like the inside of a bowl or something, right?
It's like
And
a mini NASCAR
and they're
track.
stopped, and then one of them will kick it in, and then the race is on.
Yeah.
It's wild, yeah. Diving,
Yeah.
Yeah.
equestrian.
I would say it's a sport.
Don't you think the horse ought to get the medal though?
Probably.
Yeah. The horse is doing all the work.
Yeah. Fencing. Taylor knows a lot about that. He just got a horse, right?
Yeah, that's an activity though.
No,
you
fencing
mean
was
like
sword-
with a
sword
sword.
play.
Yeah, the thing with the-
Sorry. I was thinking about putting up
Yeah.
field fence.
I think they call that a foil.
A foil?
Yeah.
Like what you
Touche.
wrap your leftovers
Reynolds
in, a
wrap.
foil? Is it a foil
God.
or a
Yeah,
foal?
Foal.
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 Hey,
Now we're back on
go
horses.
get me that thing of foil.
Yeah, foal.
Foil.
I can't
Foil.
say it.
All right. The next one says football, but I think they mean soccer because clearly this is a communist
Is there a
list.
tilde there's
There's not like the two dots above one of the letters
or
that
a
says
little U-shaped
football.
thing. Yeah.
No, it says football, but I think it
I
means
bet
soccer.
it's not American football.
Golf.
Yeah,
We
sure.
all know it's hard to play golf. And we-
Especially if you turn your card over.
That's right. I bet they don't even let them have a cart, in which case it is a sport.
It is truly a sport.
Handball.
Yeah.
yeah.
Handball. That's
I'd rather have racquetball in it
Strenuous.
than handball, but
Yeah.
hockey,
Sure.
judo.
I'm not telling any of those guys it's not a
no,
sport.
they can have whatever they want.
Yeah. As long as they don't put Brazilian jiu-jitsu in there, because I think that's like judo with an attitude.
Yeah.
I think
Now,
that's
if
sort
they
of
were to put-
snooty judo.
there are a lot of martial arts. Let's
Now, if they
pick
put-
one and stick with it.
If they put WWE in there, that's not a sport.
Oh,
That's an activity.
Hey, let's continue on
That's
this
a
list and
performance.
save that.
It's a performance.
Let's save that for another day.
They're
It's like a
Young
drama.
Gentlemen,
It's
They're
a
acting.
drama.
enough.
It's
All-
basically
time for that.
That's right.
It's basically guy soap operas. I'm just saying.
I'll bring in Nathan Harr with me for a discussion of that some other day. All right, moving on. Marathon swimming. Oh my goodness, marathon swimming.
No, thank you.
It's a sport, I would think, but not
Long
one I'd want to
distance
participate
swimming,
in.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like the one who doesn't drown wins, or what? What's the deal with that?
And do they get a sticker on the back of their car?
It says
26.2.
26.2. Yeah.
I like the stickers that say 0.0.
Oh, I love those.
I like the attitude behind that.
Yep. Modern pentathlon. That's like
Yeah.
a
Five
decathlon.
sports.
Yeah,
I don't know why that didn't fall in
The
there.
late Bruce Jenner was a decathlete.
Is that the way we refer to him, as the late?
He is not with us any longer.
I guess you got a point. All right.
Does he ever make an appearance though?
No, he's gone.
Okay.
We lost him. Man, too soon.
All right.
Way too soon.
Rhythmic gymnastics, we've hit on that already. Rowing. All right.
Yeah,
rowing. I thought we had canoeing earlier, but I guess this is
Rowing is
Rowing.
like
Rowing.
that's the big
Very
long, narrow
long,
ones,
thin.
5 or 6 crew.
It's a team sport.
Yeah.
All right. Back in the area of
They didn't do that at any of the colleges we went to.
No.
Rowing is more of
They
an
do it over
Ivy
here at
League-
Lake
That's a little-
Purdy.
Ivy
You can
League
get
school.
rowing lessons at Lake Purdy.
Oh, wow. I want to be the guy in the front. Row, row. That's what I want to do. I don't want to
Okay.
actually row. I'm going to be that guy with the megaphone.
He gets to like stand in
Yeah.
the boat like George Washington.
Yep. Problem would be the back of the boat. Back of the boat would be tilted up in the air. Hey, those oars aren't getting in the water.
I'm not sure George would have made it across the Potomac.
All right. Rugby sevens.
That sounds like rugby's a rough sport. I asked D. Neil Hillis about it one time, and he said it's a rough sport.
Yeah.
Well,
I think.
why
and I
not
think,
just play football?
Yeah,
But we'll move on.
Right. I think we're getting closer to the problem. The problem and the reason that American football is not on this list is because nobody else plays it. You got to have.
Isn't that weird?
You got to have a predominant number of countries that participate in it for it to be an Olympic sport. Yep. Sailing.
No, I'm gonna take that out.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm okay with
Come
that.
on.
So they're
Is
going
it a race?
They're doing
I
this
guess
like
it's
a
a race.
America's Cup kind of stuff, or whatever. But I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. But does it really belong?
But
in
are
the
you
Olympics?
are you an athlete? Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
And shouldn't the boat get the medal?
We've let just about everybody in, so I'm gonna
I'm
cut
good
the
with it.
sailors
We're gonna
out.
say
Well, I'm scared
Sailing's
to,
out.
to
Yep.
exclude some of these folks.
shooting. If archery's in, is shooting in?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Skateboarding.
Nah, cut them.
Activity.
That one's got to go with the breakdancers. Yep.
Yeah, you skate on your own time.
How
This is
about
the
this
Olympics.
one? Sport climbing. Now, what does that mean?
Oh, come on, climbing a wall.
I hope it's not like down at Johnny Jump Up's playhouse, and
Yeah.
it's just those plastic things that they're going.
If they'll do it Tom
if they'll-
Cruise style,
if
or
it's like a mountain,
an
you
actual
know,
mountain.
that ends up
With no nets.
parallel with the ground. Yeah,
If there's possibility of death,
yeah,
sure,
yep.
let's do it.
All right, surfing.
Nope.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm good with that.
surfing's
Kind of
out.
more of an. It's more of an. I mean,
It's skateboarding.
I can't do
it's
it.
Skateboarding on water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Surf on your own time.
Yeah, so skateboarding's out, surfing's out. Swimming. Swimming's in.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Table tennis.
Activity, not a sport.
Yeah.
And I love the table tennis.
Oh,
Don't get
yeah.
me wrong,
Right.
but definitely an activity.
It's hard to take it seriously. I don't know if that's right, wrong, or indifferent, but that's one of my.
Now, of course, the ones
Litmus
who
tests.
do it in the Olympics.
Can I watch it without laughing? If the answer is no, it's out.
Gotcha.
I mean, those ping pong guys.
This one goes in.
Don't call it table tennis. Also, it's ping pong.
That's right. Call it ping
Come
pong.
on.
Call it what it is.
Yeah.
Along with judo, taekwondo.
Again, I'm scared of those guys. They can beat me up. It's a sport.
I really think that there should have to be like a fight. Only one discipline makes it in. So like,
Right.
like where is karate? Where's that? Where is Brazilian jiu-jitsu?
All I know is if you ninja chop at the same time you Judy kick, you'll knock your leg clean off.
Where is ninja in here? I mean, there ought to be,
You
it
should
have
not
its
ninja
chance.
anyone that doesn't need to be ninja.
All right, let me finish this list up right quick. Tennis.
Yeah.
Sport.
Here's another one that I think deserves a little bit of debate. Trampoline.
Nope, not a
No,
sport.
no.
That's in the backyard.
No.
No.
Now, even if you can
Alabama
trampoline,
State bird.
that's right.
Yeah.
James Spann calls it the Bama State
Yeah.
bird. And
No,
so,
sure.
if and so what's the objective here? Is it to see whose trampoline can fly the farthest, or is it to actually do some tricks on the trampoline?
I mean, I would guess it's the amount of flips and spins and stuff. I want to know, did their legs ever go through those springs like ours did when we were kids?
Yeah, straddling the spring.
And at a minimum, if
forms a strange looking bruise.
I think that's a great one. If it's in the Olympics, no pads on the springs.
Yeah, I would totally agree.
Yep. And no
that's
that
sport.
Fence.
No
No
cage.
fence.
No baby.
cage.
None of that cage.
No baby
cage.
No, we got to have some danger.
We want some broken arms and shoulders like when we were kids.
And I really want it to be outdoors and involve somebody's backyard. I don't want it to be this like, this
take it to the
antiseptic. So it needs to be like little Johnny's coming off the house, onto the trampoline, and
he makes
into
it
the
up
pool.
Right before.
Right.
And that's
you don't get to prep.
No.
And you get to see the house and the situation. Then you name your name your play.
They blindfold them, take them up on top of the house, and say, "What are you going to do?"
And then they play it like horse. Everyone after the first guy has to repeat it.
That's right.
Oh, okay. I'm liking this.
If you can't repeat it, you're out.
And
until
just to
there's
add
a winner.
twist, something we did as a kid on the trampoline, put the sprinkler under the trampoline so it was wet. Because none of us had swimming pools, so the only way you got to play in water was a wet trampoline.
That is great. All right, triathlon.
Okay, but that's just another version of the pentathlon
of the 26.2.
Yeah.
Volleyball.
Yeah, been over that.
Water polo.
Okay. How do they keep the horses from drowning? That's what I want to know.
They have to replace them a lot. Yeah.
The little horses got a snorkel.
Somebody told me that they can't touch the bottom.
No, they can't.
That's right.
Let them in. That is very. I don't understand it. I don't know the rules.
Yeah.
But when I learned that they are not touching the bottom, that became a whole different game.
I would like to add one rule to water polo, and that is that they should be able to throw the ball with one hand, and they should have to have a horse on a stick that they go up and down the pool on the other
polo.
one. It's right.
You're going to call it polo.
It's going to be polo. You need a horse. Weightlifting.
To me, not a sport.
There is a competitive thing to it
but
where
who
you
can lift
see
the,
who can
but
lift
where
the
do
most.
you draw the line about? I don't know. To me, not a sport.
Okay. All right. We'll take.
Sorry to all my weightlifting friends.
I'm going to disagree.
All one of you.
We'll take the debate under consideration. Yeah.
We'll work on that.
All right. And last one, you mentioned WWE. Wrestling is last in the list.
Well, that's because it's real wrestling, not WWE.
Yeah, like Hulk Hogan should probably be our best chance for a medal this time.
I can't either. Anytime you put two men in basically their underwear and they roll around on a mat, I can't watch it.
The uniform's disqualified.
I'll tell you one thing: if one of these guys
it's a sport. It's one of the first.
If one of these guys shows up with a mask on, he would be my favorite for the medal. So, all right. So that's the list. Interesting list, and most of all,
I want to take badminton off. I put badminton in as a sport because I was a little scared of Calvert, and I'm still a little scared of Calvert.
Stand up for yourself.
But if you can do it in the backyard with your grandparents, it's hard to have it in the Olympics.
If trampoline's out, shouldn't badminton be out?
I think
it's
so.
Sort of the same premise, right?
The birdie disqualifies it from all series. Again, my rule, if I can't watch it without laughing, it doesn't need to be in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Because what's coming next. Olympics 2028, pickleball. Just wait. It's coming.
It's on the way. It's on the way.
Yeah. You're probably
getting
right.
very popular.
Very popular.
It is.
Yeah.
And again, not really. It's an activity.
Yeah.
It's an exhausting activity.
Is there anything that's not in the list that you would have expected to see there? I know that they had baseball and softball in the Olympics for a period of time, and
they took it out?
I think they lost both of them just because they're not played in enough countries. I think is the problem.
I think there's some snobbery towards the United States too.
Yeah.
Even though the United States rarely ever wins the baseball when they play. I mean, the World Baseball Classic is usually like Taiwan or Brazil or somewhere like that.
Dominican Republic.
Yes.
Those teams are.
Puerto logistically, Rico. Baseball and softball have to be very difficult to do. I mean, you have to have all those fields.
Yeah.
And that you're going to have to cover a lot of territory to get that done.
No harder, though, than football.
Yeah.
Right. But you don't touch soccer.
Yeah.
Football. Man, you're in trouble for calling it soccer.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Soccer.
Okay.
All right, so this is our cultural segment for the night. We're going to educate ourselves as well as the people. Basically, it's an exercise in trying to understand what our kids are saying. I want to give our passengers, that's what we're calling our audience.
You know, I like
our
that name
passengers.
for those that listen to us.
Yes, our passengers tonight, for them, we're giving them a Gen Z glossary.
Wow.
And this is a dynamic glossary. We'll be building this over the next few months and years as the list grows, because the Gen Z vocabulary is dynamic. It changes all the time.
Now, did you have help coming up with this glossary from your children, from some of the Gen Zers in our friend circle, or where did these come from?
Well, consistent with the Gen Z mentality, no one would help me.
Oh.
I asked for help and I was refused.
They just looked at you like you were an old fool.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
I get that a lot. Yeah.
So I continued on, but I've had enough experience with this in my home and around church and ball games and stuff where I could put together a pretty good list. And you guys might be able to add to it. This started with a Twitter post, X, whatever you call it these days. This guy made a brief list, and my list was a lot longer than his, but I'll start with this. On his list were cap.
A hat?
As in,
a hat?
No, it comes from capital letter, which you capitalize something that is a proper noun or something. But cap means a lie or an exaggeration. If you're capitalizing, if you
I'm
cap
gonna
it,
have to write
that's
these down.
cap.
Didn't know that
You're
one.
exaggerating.
No,
I've never heard that before.
I hear that a lot.
It's not a hat, though, is what you're saying.
Right, not a hat. Bet. You know
Now,
what that means?
I've
Bet?
heard this. I asked my kids about this, and I got a very quick explanation, and it did make sense to me.
Is this like
it's
the
an agreement.
shortening of a word or something?
No, I don't know where it comes from. The etymology of these words is very suspect. I tried to delve into that this afternoon and got nowhere with
so
that.
bet means what again?
You agree.
Okay.
Hey, let's go out to the movies. Bet.
Now, what did cap mean? I've already forgotten.
Exaggerate.
Okay. thank you.
Exaggeration.
Yeah. I'm making a list.
The whole world's against me. That's cap. I may have
Okay.
to demonstrate each one
Yeah,
of these
I
as
like
can.
that.
Tea.
That is gossip.
Right. Spill the tea. Tell me what happened.
So that says it's like TEA then.
Yeah. TEA.
Gossip.
I love our passengers can't see this, but they're writing every one of these down. I
Well,
love
we
it.
have teenagers. We need to know what they're saying.
See, and everyone listening needs
I've
to.
only heard of two, which I'm interested
I've
in.
heard bet and tea.
I've heard of sus and riz. That's it. And
Okay.
so I'm waiting for those on the list, and I'm learning about
Yeah.
the others. So,
Those did not make the X list that
Okay.
I'm reading from,
all right.
but those are very common around
Let's
here.
put a pin in those. Let's
All
circle
right, we'll
back.
come back to them.
Okay, keep going.
Yeet.
Yeet. That's what Jay Uso says in the WOE. Yeet. I don't know what
Well,
it means.
I didn't know what you just said.
That's what you ask when you get together late in the evening. You say, "Yeet already?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet. Yeet?
Yeet
No.
is to throw something.
To throw.
Yeet it
it.
over there.
To throw
Throw
something.
Well, you eat this over there.
I think
You eat
Who's-
this in a restaurant.
who's the guy that on YouTube that our sons, I don't know if they still watch him or whatever, the really like country guy.
Kendall Gray.
He said he
He's the
used to
person-
say yeet, right?
He has a product that he sells on his website called Yeet Worms.
Okay.
My son bought them. It's fishing bait. Yeet Worms.
Do they work?
Is that because you throw them?
Yeah, you cast it out.
Gotcha.
You yeet.
All right.
You yeet it.
All right, cool.
Tim, I'd never heard this before, but I have to bring it up. Stan is evidently a Gen Z in the Gen Z vocabulary.
Not
and
just-
Stan is
Does it mean to lie about your name?
Not just
well, it
Tim's
means
pseudonym.
This is pretty funny. It means being a super fan of somebody.
Okay.
So maybe they were calling. Maybe all along they knew your name over at the Guadalajara, but they were calling you Stan because they're super fans of you, or they were calling you the super fan of Guadalajara.
Okay.
I'd
Maybe
love
these
to know
were just
the
really
etymology
hip-
of that one.
So
Mexican restaurateurs. What is that word?
being a super fan. So can you put that in a sentence for me?
Well, I've never heard this one used, but I'm thinking Tim is a stan of Guadalajara.
Okay.
And now that has a double meaning. because you were the Stan
I
of
was
Guadalajara.
the Stan of Guadalajara.
And you
also.
were a Stan of Guadalajara.
Okay.
Soon to become the Stan of Raul's.
I have
in
found
Moody.
the root of this, and I thought it was it. I didn't want to say it out loud.
All right.
But Eminem had a song he talked about Stan. So while some say the term is a combination of fan and stalker, Stan, it was first coined in 2000 when Eminem dropped a twisted allegory in a song called Stan about a man who was pushed to the edge when his idol wouldn't answer his fan mail.
Oh,
I
that's
knew
not a
that
good-
Eminem had a song
that's
about
old.
Stan. That is
2000.
Wow.
but it's made its way back
Gen
around.
Zers. Okay.
right.
I'm going to start using it. It's not a compliment, though, from
No,
what you just said.
it's a super fan of someone.
Last one on this X post is Finsta.
Like
Finsta is a second, more private Instagram account. Now, my kids have a different name for that. They call that your spam account.
Spam.
Some kids have a serious Instagram account, and then they have a Finsta or a spam account, which is, for silly stuff.
See, I would have gone
Just
with like,
being silly among friends.
like, are you going to the ball game? I'm finsta leave. That's what I was thinking when I.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I don't think so. Okay, so now that ends my list. Let's get to Tim. Tim brought up two
Sus.
that we need to get to. Sus is short for suspect
Suspect, right?
or suspicious.
Okay.
So, like, that casserole is sus. I'm not going to eat it.
Okay.
Riz.
Short for charisma.
Charisma. If you got Riz, you're an attractive person. All the ladies are interested in you. That's Riz.
I'm pretty sure that I don't have any Riz. I don't think any of us have Riz.
Right? No Riz.
Bussin'.
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 Bussin' is extraordinary, good. Bussin' is even better.
Do y'all ever try to use these?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
can't communicate
I do,
with my children without them.
I do because it drives Jonathan crazy when I do, and which fuels my fire, right? I mean,
that's what a father is for.
And so there was a line that one of Jonathan's friends, and this has been like 4 or 5 years ago, and that because it's the way that I know the word bussin' is. Do you know the water called hint? It has like a hint of like fruit
Flavor or
flavoring
whatever.
in it or whatever, but it's basically a water.
Okay.
And I think they sell them at like Aldi or somewhere. And so periodically we'll get hint in our house, and Jonathan was taking it to school with him with his lunch. And one of his friends said, that hint water be bussin'. And so
Be bussin'.
be bussin'. And so every time he would leave with it in his lunch, I would say, Jonathan, that hit water be bussin'. And he would be
that's
like,
great.
Dad, don't ever say that again.
If it sounds dumb coming out of
And
your
it's
mouth,
like,
guess what?
I
It
promise
sounds dumb
not to
coming out of anybody's
I
mouth.
promise I will never say it again until tomorrow.
Now, you said if you repeat it, that's like super extraordinary. Like if you
Yeah,
say
it's
that's bussin'.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can say it twice.
I can say bussin'.
Yeah.
Nice.
You should
That
say
hit
that.
water be bussin'.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So,
We're so old.
we did. What about now? Some of these may be created by my son. I don't know. This is what I hear at home.
Okay.
Funyuns, which I thought was a light snack that made your breath smell bad.
Oh, it does.
But Funyuns is bad.
That
You know,
means
school.
it's bad.
How was school today, son? Funyuns. Not good.
Okay.
That's not good. That's a neck.
Oh, that's
I've used that on this podcast.
You've introduced me to that. Yeah.
It's my favorite. That's a neck. So if you say something stupid, it originated with being slapped on the back of the neck, which is where the brainstem is located, which could cause life-altering repercussions. So
Yeah.
they started opting for just saying that's a neck.
And
you
they kind of
deserve to be
swipe across your neck
yeah,
too.
yeah, they'll swipe it, or if physical contact is inappropriate, then they just say that's a neck, and that means you said something stupid.
Can we try that one? I want to see if that's one that like our boys have created versus.
Oh, I've tested that. I was with a group of youth ministers from all over the South. I mean, they weren't all over the country, but there were some from Tennessee and some from down in Montgomery, and they all had heard the expression and used it with their youth groups and college groups.
Right. I see some things like that's a neck or whatever. I
Yeah.
don't know.
That's cross country.
Yeah.
That's
and
nationwide.
interesting.
Not that deep. Have you heard that? It's not that deep. It's not that complicated.
Okay. Yeah.
That one makes
That
it's not that-
one. Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, that one is like almost understandable.
makes sense.
Son,
at
you've
least.
left crumbs all over the couch. Dad, it's not that deep. Oh,
no.
yeah.
That,
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna get my wooden spoon out of the drawer and flail you with it. Talking
contraire.
back like
It's
me.
deep, son. You're in deep.
It's about to get deep.
Extra. I like this one. She's being a little extra.
Yeah. Definitely,
Over the
definitely
top.
heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, I-
Flamboyant, acting out.
I actually
little
heard that
extra.
from one of the ladies at work. Was the first place I ever heard that phrase.
Yeah. I like that. I'm trying to work that in
That one I'm okay with.
everyday conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I could use that one.
I've definitely had conversations about people who are extra.
Yeah.
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 What about ship their names?
Steady now? What?
Ship,
Excuse me?
as in relationship,
Ship.
their names. So that's when you take the names of two people in a relationship and mash them together.
Oh, me.
I never heard
This
that.
is like
yet.
Brangelina. Right?
Brangelina or Benifer.
Benifer, right?
Is that one? Or did I just
you got it
Benifer?
right.
Yeah.
Affleck and
Drewley?
Drewly.
Drewley?
Drusilla.
No,
No,
that's just,
her name's
that's just
not
one
Priscilla.
nickname, right?
Yeah.
But Drew,
But then,
did
I just remember that
Did
nickname for
Drewley
you.
come from Ray Marsh? I mean, was
no,
that
that's just
was-
an example of
Yeah,
a
yeah.
ship.
Yeah.
Ship their names. Okay.
I've never heard that one.
Please be careful when
Okay.
you say that.
Yeah. Enunciate well with that one, please.
Okay, so I just said it, but this is more of a text messaging thing. If you ask somebody to do something and they spell out the word okay, that's good. But if they use the initials,
OKAY is good.
OKAY is good. If they use the initials, they're mad about it.
So
Just FYI, parents, know this because your children may be acting like they're submissive, but subtly rebelling against you in a text message.
I get back a lot of times from my kids, KK. Like I'll say, hey, we need to
that's
do this
playful.
later. And they're like, KK, is that a playful okay?
That's playful. That's fine.
I had no idea.
But if
I
they
just
give you
figured
the
they couldn't spell
okay,
okay.
Well, that's what I was
O
wondering.
period,
It's like
K period,
we're assuming that our kids can spell any word correctly to make it through okay.
they work at this. They work at this.
So if it's in all caps, that's even worse.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's your dad
You're in
texting
trouble.
us. You know,
With no punctuation,
love you, Jimmy.
no
Extra
spaces.
spaces in there.
Yeah, it's like, all right, it's like figuring out a cipher.
Okay, mid means not very good.
Mid. Okay.
I like this next one, out of pocket. If something's a little weird, it's out of pocket. That's a
So
little.
it's not
that's
that
a
you're
little out
going
of
to
pocket.
be. It's not that you're going to be
I'm gonna
away.
be away.
No,
Yeah.
that's what it used to mean.
So now it is. What is
It's
it
a
again?
little weird, a little
Little
odd.
weird.
Maybe inappropriate. Usually referencing something you said.
That's
You know,
a
if
little
somebody
out of
says
pocket.
something, inappropriate, you say,
Like if you
that was
say-
that was a little out of pocket, man.
Ship their names, we could be like, that's a little out of pocket.
That's a
Drew.
little out of pocket.
Okay.
All right.
That's rad. Oh wait, no, that's not.
That
that's not a popular
expression
phrase
has
anymore.
passed away.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Last one on my list. These two go together. Your drip and your fit. Have you heard this? Your drip is your jewelry.
Okay.
Your fit is your outfit. Usually applied to ladies, but can be used of men.
I have heard fit. Jonathan was
I like
telling
your drip.
me
I've heard drip.
about somebody's fit.
Yeah. I
He
like
was
your
all
drip, I like your
dripped
fit.
out. Yeah, I've heard that phrase.
Yeah. Did I
Wow.
miss anything? I'm sure I did. I mean-
I learned a ton. My
I knew like,
vocabulary
three
of
these
this
before.
nature was very small. Yeah.
Well, I thought I needed to educate the public. I've been learning over the last few years. It's a process. It's not an end game. You don't ever get done. The list continues to grow. Unfortunately, as the list of new words grows, the old words that are actual English are disappearing rapidly, as are the rules of grammar and punctuation.
Just the
So we got that
almost
going
the
for
ability
us.
to write is going away
Yes.
completely.
Yeah.
And my chance of learning these and it sticking with me are Funyuns.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I mean,
Yeah, that's right.
guys, I have been like trying to learn a little Spanish doing Duolingo. This is more intimidating than Spanish to me. I don't know why. Maybe it's because my children will mock and maim me.
I love some of the songs that Duolingo has put out. They're really good.
Especially the ones with Elton John.
Exactly.
What's your favorite song they put out, Tim?
The one with Elton John.
Okay.
That's the only one I know.
All right. Time for a
It was
break.
just a joke.
It was a bad joke.
We'll be back with our passage. Quotation.
Here's the quote.
All right,
ca-
folks.
we call
Welcome
this
back to
stuff
passages.
passages.
Here's the boring part.
Yeah. This time we've got a quotation coming from a Frenchman, Francois. And I'm going to have a trouble with this name. Antoine de Saint Exupéry.
I saw it. Did you see it phonetically spelled out?
Yes,
somewhere?
I'm trying to do
Exupéry.
Antoine de Saint Exupéry.
Except for in France, they don't roll their R's. It's a guttural out of the throat.
Péry. Okay, let me try one more time.
Antoine de Saint Exupéry.
Ooh.
Oh,
Antoine de Saint Exupéry. Perret. Let's just leave it right there.
Perret.
What's important? What's important is what he said, which we're not going to hear because the French.
Perret.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
It's kind of like the water you drink. Perrier.
Yeah, this reminds me of the French bed bugs we talked about.
That's the way
Few
they
episodes
sounded,
ago,
right?
yeah.
I will bite you.
Not even do the French have good bed bugs. They have great quotes.
Yeah, there you go. Good segue. Okay, here's what he said. It's actually serious and interesting. If you want to build a ship, don't drum up people to collect wood and don't assign them tasks and work, but rather teach them to long for the endless immensity of the sea. Poetic. This guy's an interesting guy. He's a writer, obviously. The quote, is beautiful and poetic the way he put it. He started out as a pilot. I did a little reading on him, and he also wrote several books. And I didn't know this, but he wrote a little book called The Little Prince, which is a pretty well-known book. A lot of people call it a children's book, but it's not necessarily that. And I have a copy of it given to me by a good friend of mine. And so I was aware of that, and then I was excited to see that he's the author of this quote. I saw the quote first and then learned about who said it. And I think it's a great one for how to influence people and move people, which is what we try to do as Christians, and we try to do it in the right way. And sometimes, I'll start with this, we get frustrated and we turn into people who are just giving orders. Mm-hmm. You need to do this, and we don't tell them why they need to do this, and we don't try to inspire them or motivate them. We're just telling them what to do and leaving out the good part that motivates them to do it.
We get so focused on the tasks and what needs to be done that we miss out on the overall encompassing goal of what we're doing. It's the whole missing the forest for the trees.
Right.
Exactly.
And so, this is something that's so important to being a good leader, is to cast vision for people, right? This whole idea, I think I used your line.
You did.
didn't I?
I said
I
today I was
apologize.
going to be the first to use
To say
vision
vision
casting,
casting.
and
Yep,
now
and
you've just jumped the punchline.
But when he says, rather teach them to long for the endless immensity of the sea, when you're building a ship, rather than just thinking about all the tasks that it took, that's what it takes to really be successful in anything, you've got to cast a vision for what you're trying to accomplish. And when people are trying to accomplish a vision, they're going to work a lot harder. They're going to feel a part of something bigger, and all of that. It helps the whole process, and that really it makes a difference, even if you're talking about something, on our jobs. Certainly when we're talking about church work and things that we do of a volunteer nature, right? We do because we desire to do it. And, when it comes to church stuff, when we desire to serve God. But if you can cast that vision of what we're trying to accomplish here, it makes the work completely different. Mm-hmm. And it does, even if you're getting paid to do it, right? So somebody could say, well, do these tasks because you're getting paid, shut up and do them, right?
But you don't know what you're contributing to.
But a great leader makes it bigger than just the fact that this is your job.
You could even start to get suspicious, like, why aren't they telling me what I'm doing this for? What is the end game?
Right.
What am I contributing toward? Could it be something devastating? Have y'all ever seen these crime movies? There's a lot of them out there where everybody's kind of like a cog and not, they don't see the big picture, and somebody will say, well, what are we doing here? Hey, you don't have to know that. The less you know, the better off you are. Mm-hmm. And usually it's that guy that's left out of the loop who's just the driver of the getaway car, or the guy the grease guy, Usually it's that guy who winds up stealing the money and betraying the others because they don't know the big picture. They're not inspired. They're not a part of the group. They don't see the vision. They don't understand why. And I think that's the point here is, as leaders, we have to inspire people with a vision. And I think this applies a lot to evangelism. We think, knock on that door, preach to them, and they've already got built into them the need. So we just deliver that as awkwardly and as fast as possible and get out of there. And then we wonder, why aren't people listening? Well, you've failed to inspire them and show them in your life what a difference it's made. You go to the Bible and it says you don't get good works from a sense of duty or law or rule keeping, but you get good works out of gratitude for God's grace. And one of my favorite passages is Titus 2:11 and 12, which says, the grace of God has appeared, bringing salvation for all people, training us, so it's the grace of God that trains us, training us to renounce ungodliness and worldly passions and to live self-controlled, upright, godly lives in the present age. So it's the grace of God that appeared in the cross of Jesus Christ that has trained us to put aside the evil in the world and to lead good moral lives. So you're not doing it out of sense of obligation or guilt or shame. You're doing it because you're so grateful that you have this forgiveness of sin and eternal life, and you don't want to turn your back on Jesus. You see the vision now. You see the immensity of the sea, and you want to be a part of it, and you've been welcomed into that. And so knowing you're a part of that, you fulfill God's will and you seek to please Him in all that you do.
And you're going to be so much more motivated to work for something if you understand the why. So like business organizations that are the most successful, I would say evangelistic campaigns that are the most successful, any activity that we participate to with a goal that's the most successful are the ones that let the people who are going to participate understand the why are we doing this, getting buy-in, emotional buy-in, getting physical buy-in. We want this goal, and we want this goal for this purpose. This is how it's going to help us all. It's the idea of showing, in this quote, the endless immensity of the sea. It's the idea of saying, this is the thing that's waiting for us out here. It is a wonderful, huge, great, immense thing. That's going to motivate people to work harder. As we were talking about this passage, I wrote down Nehemiah 2:17 and 18. So he's going back to Jerusalem to work. And he goes out and tours the city, and he comes back in, and I'm going to read it so I don't misquote it. But he comes back in, and he's talking to the people there about the need to do that work. And he says, I thought this was very applicable to what we said. It says, it's 2:17 and 18. It says, "Then I said to them, you see the bad situation we are in, that Jerusalem is desolate, its gates burned by fire. Come, let us rebuild the wall of Jerusalem so that we will no longer be a reproach. I told them how the hand of my God had been favorable to me, also about the king's words which he had spoken to me. Then they said," this is the people saying this back to him, "let us arise and build." So they put their hands to the good work. So
That's a great
he
example.
told them, guys, look at how horrible our home city is. It's been destroyed. It's laid bare. God has given me the opportunity to go back, to rebuild it. We have this opportunity to make this place great again with God's help. And the people, they don't wait for him to give them tasks. They go to work. And they go to work willingly, not being forced to do it, because he has cast this vision to them of where this is the problem. God's given us this as a solution. He's opened the doors for this solution. Let's go do it. And the people are like, I picture them cheering like, yay, let's go. And they go to work. Now they have some obstacles there, but the people, because of their commitment to that picture he had painted to them of the problem and the solution, they were willing to go forward. And it's the same thing in the church. We know what the problem is. The problem's sin. We know the solution, Christ. We should be excited about that, and we should be motivated to go out, not because we're being compelled to do it, but because we want other people to hear this good news.
You and Drew have just sort of, you've mentioned the primary vision of the church, right? Is is that with Jesus we can overcome sin. We do this because of the sacrifice that Jesus made on our behalf. Something that we've done here for the last several years at Asheville Road is to establish yearly goals. And that to some degree, the words goal, vision, mission, to me, all sort of blend together sometimes. They mean some different things, but, it's that whole idea of what are you trying to accomplish in the big picture. And so we started doing this several years ago, and one of the reasons we did was to give us a renewed focus every year. And so while in the biggest picture, our vision for the church is always the same, right? It's, we're to seek and save the lost, right? I mean, we want to go to heaven and take as many people with us as we can, but it helps even the church to have a vision for now, just because it helps us to get a focus. So, in 2024, we selected Transform. And we said, as a church this year, we're going to sort of do some individual inside work, right? Within each one of us, we're going to look at, and so Drew presented this at the beginning of the year and gave us a bunch of ideas of the kinds of things that you might need to do to transform your life. And then we all looked at personal commitments that we can make. How can I transform myself this year? All of that is, you could say, we don't need to do that. That's just the stuff you do every day. But casting a vision, it just does something.
Yeah.
It allows us to focus. You don't focus on everything all the time. And so every year we try to slant it a little bit differently about the work that we're trying to accomplish. Because if you can cast that vision and people buy into the vision, you can do more than you would otherwise.
And I've wanted this podcast to be educational for us and for others who are listening. And so we need to, this is one quote that's very applicable if you're in a leadership position at work, at school, at church, in your country, whatever it may be, in your family. So many times I catch myself just telling people what they need to do. Today, here's what you need to do. Here's what you have to do. Here's what we must do. Here's what you can't do, what you shouldn't do. And I don't spend enough time on why. I don't spend enough time inspiring them and showing them the big goal and what God can do in your life if you follow him. And it's getting the cart before the horse. I mean, tell them what it's all about, and then they'll line up. They'll do whatever you ask. But if they don't know why, well, then I have failed as a leader to cast the vision. And this is something. If you're in a leadership position, you're listening. Try to apply this and think back on your previous conversations to your group. What do you focus on? Do you focus on tasks? Is it all about smaller things? Do you ever share the big picture with your group? Do you have other people maybe who are doing that already and you're not doing your job of casting the vision? I think we really need to review our speeches or whatever you call it, those moments like Nehemiah had, and ask, did we capitalize on that moment or did we blow it because we were just focused on the minutia? I'm not saying the minutia is unimportant. The rules are important, but they're not going to be followed, and they're not going to be followed in the right spirit because the commandments of Christ have a heart that goes along with them. If you're just following them externally, well, you're not doing it right. Your righteousness must exceed the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees. So the heart is the sea, the immensity of the sea. And we've got to share that with people.
Well, and one of the things that working towards that vision or that goal, the immensity of the sea in this quote, prevents is burnout.
Yes.
We get burned out when we become very task-oriented because we do the same tasks over and over and over and over again. I mean, in my own work, outside of church work, in my own work, I do the same. I take care of people the same way every day, 15, 20, 30 times a day. I walk into an exam room and take care of them. And if I just focus on the why, what I'm doing, the tasks I'm doing, it's easy to get burned out. It's easy to get tired. It's easy to say, you know what? Oh, I'm really tired of going in and doing
So you have to remind yourself you're making people's lives better.
Yeah, you have to remind yourself what's the purpose behind what you're doing. You're helping people see. You're taking care of people's problems. You are giving people new
Freedom.
sight, new hope. All of these things. And in the church, we get bogged down sometimes in the minutia of, what tract program are we going to use, or how are we going to do evangelism? And the real crux of the matter is, if we are excited about what Christ has done in our lives and what Christ has done for the world, we shouldn't be getting bogged down in the task. We should just be out there sharing it. And I'm as guilty as anybody about not doing that. I have a platform every day where I could talk to patients and people. I see a lot of different people every day, and I miss out on that. And sometimes I wonder if it's because maybe I'm not as excited about it, or I'm not seeing that vision in the way it should be portrayed. Maybe I'm focusing on the task too much. But if we want to prevent burnout, focus on the end product, focus on the goal, focus on the mission behind what you're doing.
I hear people say you shouldn't take the Lord's Supper every week because it'll become routine. You'll get burned out on it, so to speak. Not if you keep the immensity of the sea in front of you. Yeah. If you keep the Lord's death for your sins at the forefront of your mind every time you take the Lord's Supper, it's going to be fresh every time, because you should continuously be grateful for what he saved you out of and what the life he's brought you into. But yeah, if it's just eating crackers and juice, yeah, that's going to get old after a while, but that's not what it is. Yeah. It's so much more than that. You do that, and you do it gladly when you keep the big picture in mind.
Just going back sort of generically to, anybody out there that's sort of in a a leadership position of any nature, if you don't cast a vision for what you're trying to accomplish, then one of the questions you have to ask yourself is, how do you know when you get to where you're trying to go? And this feeds right into just doing tasks all the time and feeling like you're just, all right, well, it's another day in the salt mines or whatever, let's, get back to it, and not feeling like you're, contributing toward a goal. It also keeps you from identifying where you need to celebrate success. And so, casting a vision has a lot of fringe benefits to it. It inspires people. When you make it to where you're trying to go, you need to recognize that and recognize the people who were instrumental in getting there and celebrate that. We can't do this one without quoting John Maxwell. John Maxwell says, "A leader's vision creates hope, inspires commitment, and fuels passion." That's what we're talking about here, right? It gets people motivated. And so, it gives us hope. It causes us to buy into something. It fuels passion. And I was talking about, what we've been trying to do here at Asheville Road for a number of years, and it's just for that, right? I mean, we always have the same giant goal out there, but to just turn the work with a little different area of highlight from year to year, around the things that we do, I think is helpful, and I think it's wise. I think it's a great way that our leadership has chosen to just to make things new again, even though we're still trying to accomplish the same things in the big picture.
Yeah.
And so, one other thing that I want to sort of share, in relation to the business world, I work for a giant corporation, and sometimes it's very difficult to see, what am I really doing? Is what I'm really doing making a difference in this billion-dollar corporation? That's difficult sometimes. And so sometimes you have to take that vision and really chunk it down to where you are, right? So if you're in a situation like me, then our department, our team, our group needs to have its own visions and things that we're trying to accomplish. And, because it can't just be, well, is the stock price going up? What am I doing to influence I'm one of, now like 180,000 employees.
And you've made other people rich. Woo-hoo. That's
right.
exciting.
Yeah. But if it's like, well, here's what we're after and here's what we're trying to accomplish. And fortunately, I've got some leaders around me right now that are doing just that. And they're saying, here's what we're trying to accomplish in our area of this business. It's really important. When we do it, we're going to incense you in this way. That's really nice too. And, you tie those kinds of things all together. As a leader, you put your money where your mouth is sometimes. We're going to celebrate when you do this thing because it's important. And then, all of those kinds of things help energize people. It's not always about money. Sometimes it's just about, hey, we're all in this together, right? Let's go make this happen. And so, but knowing what we're trying to do, and making sure, and even with church work, right? Sometimes we sort of do disjointed things, and the three of us, we've read books together sometimes. You remember when we read Simple Church, right? We read that book, and the whole premise of that book was, look at everything you do. And if something you're doing as a church is not fulfilling your mission, then
Stop
scrap
doing it. Yeah.
Right. And so, that's stuck with me for a long time.
Easier said than done.
Absolutely, it is, because we
Got our sacred cows.
right.
That we don't even know why we do them, but
we end up, before it's all said and done, and we program ourselves to death at church.
Yeah.
And I think that's every church everywhere that does that.
Mm-hmm.
But at least if you realize that, and it helps you to at least analyze that and keep from going too far. Nobody's going to, be perfect at this, but it's what we try to accomplish.
yeah. Well, we're going to have to leave it right there. And we are grateful to all of you who continue to listen to us. Don't forget to check us out on social media. If you do that kind of thing on Twitter or X, whatever it's called, you can find us at Passages Pod, Instagram or Finstagram, whichever one you like.
And if you think we're bussing, go ahead and give us a 5-star review.
Yeah. Our
think we're
Finstagram
bussin',
and Instagram is passages_podcast. Like Jason said, leave us 5 bussins.
And maybe you're even a stan.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you want, if you give us this, it'll help our Riz.
Right.
Something like that.
We got some major riz going already, according to our wives. But it can always improve with
That comment
the
was
podcast
sus.
climbing the ranks.
Yeah.
So help us do that. Spread the word. I think word of mouth is the best way to let people know about passages. We appreciate all the great feedback as usual, and we especially appreciate you hanging on till we get back to you next week with our next passage.